Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 25, if you can believe it, of Rannoch, our vanilla Boreal CS build. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm just chilling on the top floor of the multi-story outside of Terminal 2, at Rannoch's new regional airport, of course, named after our wonderful patron. Josh, thanks for all your support, mate. In today's episode, it is yet again a patron that inspires us with the now named Schafelantic city, which is going to be a big tourism area, named after our wonderful patron, Shaf, who came up with this idea on Patreon a couple of weeks ago. So that's what we're going to do today. Lots of casinos, nightlife, and entertainment against the waterfront right next to the airport. And hopefully today's episode should also bump us up considerably in the hotel's threshold to try and get close. We've got about halfway to go again. But I would like some of these hotels unlocked for the downtown project. They're 40,000 for the design one. But either way, let's build up Schafelantic City, shall we? Our big casino, nightlife, waterfront. Cool. So, Schafelantic City, it currently has the tourism specialization. Or is it nightlife, sorry? Yeah, it is nightlife. Or leisure, as it's actually called. So we have leisure for our commercial, which is fine. And I think I'd also like to add something on for office space as well, because a lot of our hotels are going to want both office and commercial. And I think wall-to-wall is going to be a nice complement alongside a lot of the leisure, I think. So talking about the road structure here, we currently have very little around. But what I am envisioning, because this kind of key road here back to the highway intersects with the couplet here, they can arrive here in pretty sensible amount. It shouldn't get too busy around here. So I think with that in mind, I'd actually like to pedestrianize this road. Now, almost as though at one point it was an actual through car road, but now as the area has been gentrified and developed, it has been pedestrianized, which I think will be a nice vibe for the casinos as well. So let's go ahead and grab our content creator tree. We'll do cottonwood, please always warn me off the cottonwood. So again, if we're doing nightlife, let's do jacaranda. Nice and bright and colourful, right? Wicked. And then let's grab a smaller pedestrian road. So again, as I come into a build, I could envision something quite particular. So I think I'm going to try and cut through a straight road about there. Now let's come into our casino. We need it about there, don't we? That's pretty much perfect there. So this is going to be our unique casino, of course. Comes with the After Dark DLC, if you are wondering. But I think on an angle there, against our pedestrian road, that's going to be a great introduction into our nightlife district, isn't it? Very nice indeed. So let's also get some buildings going around here as well. I would love my casino to be stuffed with nightclubs, hotels, and whatnot. Let's go ahead and get our own hotel down as well. So I'm quite happy to have some height grow up here. I'm not constantly bothered about keeping it low density in this part of the city. I've just been thinking we could actually use the boat hotel here. That would actually go very well indeed with the whole kind of tourism vibe, wouldn't it? I think it would. I know, gamble at the hotels and then stay at the fancy boat hotel on the waterfront. I think I'd be okay with that. Can we connect out of this one? We can, that's fine. We are going to have to join the keys here first, because, of course, this will be keyed. So we use the simple city key. Actually, should we use... No. I was going to say let's maybe use the vanilla walkable, but it'll have trees on it that'll pierce through the building, which is not what I want. Let's have that there. And now we can have our boat hotel. Oh, seriously, the boat hotel actually intersects with the keys? I thought it didn't. But we'll place it there. Right on the edge. Yeah, and then I guess we just have to start it from probably there, right? That's the vanilla solution. Or we could terraform out a little platform for it, but... I think we can make that work. I think we can work with it. I think we can work in some rocks in between, can't we, as a bit of a... somewhat support for the missing key. I think is what we'll go with. It's a little bit rudimentary, but it allows us to squeeze in one of the more awkward hotels at least. So we'll have this here. nature rating is already immediately met. It just wants its shopping, which will absolutely come. Wonderful, look at that. There we go. As I want to use an airport apron along the side of the casino here. Just to make it look like this entrance, or this like little cove, is another entrance out here. So how about we go for probably there, I think. Then I wouldn't mind some fancier trees, maybe something that's not native to Boreal, such as the palms, I think might be quite appropriate. Just as a bit of casino decoration. And then let's run in with some roadies around the bottom of that as well. Tremendous. Yes, we'll worry about a service area in a second. Otherwise, I think I'd be happy to entirely wrap up the couplet with the aesthetic of Nightlife. And all the way around here. Might actually even grab this first section, say no zoning, and then we can prioritize the zoning here on the side, which we'll have run all the way down. And again, the airport apron where it would make sense with those car parking spaces on the side. And maybe even through here as well. I might even do some industrial prop detailing and some path work through this way. So people can actually cut and walk behind the casino and the bars. And if we can, it's going to take a lot of detailing, but I think we can pull it off. Then when we get this kind of stuff growing along the back as well. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Either way, that's going to grow up very nicely indeed. Let's continue to place down some of our main buildings. So, mentioned I'm not too bothered about height here. So we could have our city hotel. Oh, it does sit and fit right in the middle, doesn't it? And we can make this quite tall as well. Should be far enough away from the runway here, really, shouldn't it? Yeah, shouldn't have any issues with that. Okay. Not bad. I think I definitely don't want to go any higher than that over this way, I don't think. I'd like it to fall down a little bit over there. So we also have some plazas and promenades uniques unlocked now in Rannoch, which I think I'd really like to include as part of this waterfront here. So we have the Sunken Plaza Shopping Mall, which is a really nice unique building, and I'd like to use this here. So I think for this internal section off of the main pedestrian road, we'll keep it pedestrianised, not forever though. I do want roads to come back into play at some point. Let's grab ourselves a 4-lane small road here. Now I'd like this to run pretty much in line with that one there. So there's a rail pillar. There we go, that's perfect. Just come straight the way through. We'll decide what's going to happen with this. I imagine we're just going to turn it into an after dark road cul-de-sac, probably. Let's do that. Not that it really does much as a cul-de-sac with this road here. I actually wonder if we could do a little roundabout feature with this road. I think it's a bit more of an extravagant end, isn't it, I think? Yeah, I think we can do that for the end of the road. Kind of functions as a nice border against the airport as well, doesn't it? Which is tremendous. Yeah, so this 4-lane road is going to come all the way down. Intersecting with this arterial is another way through. Then we can have all this in the middle to be pedestrianised. So let's break that off. So we'll have lots of office and nightlife around here. But I would like to pay special attention to this building, which is really nice. Definitely one of the best ones that comes with plazas and promenades. They're all very extravagant, these plaza buildings. But they're nice, which is what I want here. Cool, so we'll have that shopping mall there. You will run down, box it in, and then now we have that in, I'd like to form my kind of main zonable grid off the back of that, I think. So we'll have multiple pedestrian connections into the cycling road, that's absolutely fine. And that's what I'm looking for there. These whole zonings of office, of nightlife. Let's make it a really kind of bustling, vibrant area. Let's bring these down as well. Lots of connections back onto that arterial. You can come back through, I suppose. I'm not against that. A lot of this concert stuff, I guess, you know, would a festival area be totally out of place on the waterfront here? Have a strong inkling that it would be. I think I'd rather make this a dedicated area rather than just part of a waterfront. Yeah, I think I probably would. There's probably quite a lot of unique buildings that will work in this kind of vibe. City Arch does increase tourists, but we'll probably want that in a bit more of a prominent position. But there's things like the Posh Mall out here as well that would absolutely work. Wouldn't be against some of these, you know. So let's also address this service point before everyone starts to leave. So we'll have it tucked into the corner, and we can probably blend in some industrial detailing with that as well, which we'll take a look at. So pretty much all of this needs to be pedestrianised. One in this Schafelantic mall as well. That should keep most of them happy. There we go. Tremendous. So this is all going in. So there's another asset, just kind of browsing through some unique buildings here. I think there's a lot of them that could be kind of passed off as casinos, couldn't they? One of them being the very difficult to use Sphinx building. But I think if I can leave it in. It's a Sphinx with pine trees on the back. Some kind of Boreal Egyptians, perhaps. But I think if we can leave it in, it does look a little bit like a casino. Maybe more so next to the actual casino building. Okay, so I ended up actually flipping that around. In all honesty, it's not too bad now. There's nowhere else in the city this asset's going to go. So we might as well have it along the casino waterfront and pretend it is at least an Egyptian themed casino. Possibly. Who knows? In the theme of continually quirkier assets, now a lot of these real nice ones I want to save for our main downtown waterfront, but I think there's one of them, notably the Pyramid of Safety. I think also looks like it could be like a really extravagant casino, right? Very obnoxious building. But it's pretty cool. And I think in amongst other quirky assets and buildings and themes, it's something that's going to work, I think. So I think we'll go with it. I'd love to... Oh, we can as well. We can centralize something here. So I think I'll grab a treat word for that. Beat that up through the middle and then respect some kind of centralization on it. And then with this road here, I want to just realign where the zoning squares are going to appear. There we go, just so we can realign the squares there. And then what do we have more of at the minute? Pretty much office, so let's do... We've got water wall there, let's try to keep it varied. We have nightlife, water wall. Let's do more nightlife here. We'll have some more water wall there. And maybe let's mix and match both of these corners together. And as I said over here, we can probably trim back that fence and save a couple of nodes. Even though we're immediately going to replace those nodes with road. But if we can just have the road come up there to the service point, this would be a great way to blend in some industrial zoning. Which the city does need, because its industry is quite underzoned and really high. So I wouldn't be averse to that there. Just some smaller warehouses, stuff like that. Something we can blend the service point into at least. So we'll see how that goes. We also want to extend the pedestrian zone there. Cool. So this little area is starting to grow up now. It's on its way. This wouldn't be a new waterfront without any services there, would it? How are our hotels doing? You are losing money because you want shopping around you. And you actually have no connection at all. My apologies, I had forgotten about you. Probably due to the grief you were giving me with the keys, but that's fine. You can forgive and forget. We also go out this way. You will indeed. Let's do that as well. Got a boat hotel there. That should start getting some people now. We want lots more nightlife through here, so let's do big chunk of nightlife all on the waterfront as well. Let's really get this hotel satisfied. Just want some office. So we'll have that there. Fantastic. This has just absolutely shot up in its values, which is great. Our service point actually has high cargo traffic here at the moment. I'm pretty sure we don't actually have the other service point unlocked, do we? I know we do. We do have the small cargo service point. Actually, is this service point going to get any larger? It possibly could. We'll just keep our eye on that, make sure it doesn't get too wild. Anyway, we were talking about services, weren't we? So let's grab ourselves some police. Now we'll have this quite central. Why don't we have it right across from the casino here on the water? This place definitely warrants a significant healthcare district. Now, so far we've only really been placing cute little clinics, haven't we? So why don't we actually build Rannoch a hospital for the first time? Now I'd like this to be within the density. Now it does fit pretty much perfectly. Right in the middle of the couplet there, doesn't it? How do we feel about that? Get a wider perspective of the... Well, it's becoming a bit of a mini skyline here, really, isn't it? I don't mind it. It's actually kind of perfect there, isn't it? Don't hate that at all. Maybe some parking next to it for such a large facility wouldn't go amiss, but besides that, I think it's alright. Quite a big corner asset there, isn't it? It's starting to really envelop that couplet system now as well, with kind of buildings and design, aren't we? Lots of parking here is what I like to see. Quite claustrophobic against that couplet is the vibe I want to create here. Yeah, I reckon we'll go with that then. However, I do want some parking next to such a large facility, so let's go ahead and do that. We could have... It's going to have to be these, isn't it? So the zoning grids on the couplet are out of line, which makes placing in any of those assets very awkward. I think what we will do is chuck in a multi-storey car park across the road. And then let's grab a regular Park Life Plaza here. Let's stick that in there. Let's upgrade those trees again on the road we took the zoning away from. And then probably just some nice tree linings here too. Show to the car park on the plaza a bit from the main road. And I think we can have a little mini hotel, hospital, kind of parking facility there as part of the kind of chunk of the town, if you like. You'll be happy with that. And how are we doing for education? We're actually not doing too bad at all. High school's not too far off of actually collapsing. So we could run with a high capacity school. Which again, because they're such kind of extravagant assets, they really blend in with the quirkiness around them, don't they? You could almost kind of pass this off as some kind of like museum, couldn't you? Which I think is what I like about it. I think we'll leave it there. We'll have it at the high school in, because eventually at some point there's going to be houses behind here, so it will eventually become quite useful to have that there. And then let's keep up with our zoning demands here as well. So we've got nightlife there. Let's do wall-to-wall here. Wall-to-wall there. So we'll do nightlife in this instance. Do we even want to bring another road behind you, I wonder? We could possibly do it, I suppose. I'm not there. And all of this, I'm happy to have zone up. And maybe some taller wall-to-wall buildings on the waterfront there. We'll probably apron up, or no we won't, because it clashes, but that's okay. We can use maybe a nice path design there actually. It's probably a waste of nodes, but I think if we could make it work. Something like that. And then maybe again a tree that we don't use in Rannoch overly often. Just to kind of bring in the idea that, you know, this is a bit of a quirkier casino type building. I think it blends in there, doesn't it? Give it time. I think with this build today, a very random mix of assets at the minute, but it will come together, I assure you. Cool, we're actually starting to like this street corner now. We have the Sphinx, the casino, Pyramid of safety. Starting to see those unique buildings blend in a little bit more. Got the shopping mall down here as well, which adds a wonderful layer of depth into the build, doesn't it? You know, who knew we actually needed depth in CS buildings, right? Seeing down into little underground mall is very cool. It'd be cool to see that as some underground parking as well, wouldn't it? And then speaking of road hierarchy, before we move into a detail in time-lapse here today, let's bring our main road all the way through. Now, we do have not the most interesting terrain ever over here. I'm not sure what's going to lie over this way. We've got a full graveyard over there, I think, don't we? Need to deal with that. I think at this point, with this road coming out of the highway interchange, let's make this the priority. So are you just going to go straight across? Please do. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. That's absolutely perfect. And then you can just go into something, whatever lies over here. Okay. And then with this road here, rather than having two bridges, it's just going to make sense to have this run pretty much the whole length of the coast. You know what, actually? Would we... Is that just going to be as easy as a solution as road, guideline, and curve? I think it is, isn't it? I think that'll work. That's going to really box off all these areas we're expanding out with kind of suburbia or whatever lies out here. Had a lot of suggestions as well for another stadium district out here as well, which I think would be a good idea. For so close to the highway, the airport, and the nightlife centre. Maybe a big centralised stadium in this square would probably be quite nice. Wonder what we could use that. So should we have a little look while we're together? Feel free to let me know what stadium you want to see in the comments. We won't build it today, so it's definitely another build. Maybe something big. Maybe something like the peanut ball. We've never used the peanut ball before. At least, I don't think we have. It's a very extravagant arena. But I really like it. So maybe we can do the peanut ball out here. Do a peanut ball build. Let me know what stadium you want to see, regardless. But that one's definitely a contender. We also had a comment last episode about the trucks heading east having a slip ramp off onto the highway here, which was a really good idea. Exactly how executable that idea is, I am unsure. Let's give it a go though before we do. So the idea was to have a slip ramp here. Now where do we want to go? I think our best trajectory is to squeeze under here, isn't it? Although I don't even know if the game is going to let me do that. Yeah, not without the Anarchy mods, it's not. I suppose the other way we could do it is to bring it off from here and then bring it underneath. This is going to take a little bit of terraforming, but let's see if it's possible. We're going to flood quite a bit here as well, actually, but it'll be alright. I think something to that extent is what the comment was going for. I just don't think there's another way I can possibly squeeze it through. Maybe under here it probably could have gone. I think there's a ramp there just for a lot of the industrial traffic that's heading down this way. It is pretty tight. But you know, slow down as you come off. And you should be alright. I think. Should be okay. So hopefully a lot of these industrial trucks here, you can see them, they're all coming from the oil refinery over here. So that should work. There's factory trucks. It doesn't have to just be for industrial traffic. Pedestrians can take us as well if they want. Not pedestrians, like private vehicles rather. So rather than having to come all the way through here and fight this traffic to get to the interchange, it's just a little slip ramp that comes off, loops around, drops them straight on the highway. So not something that's omnidirectional. We're not after a full interchange here. Just some supplementary slip ramps. And look at that. Proof is in the pudding, what a great idea. I'll leave, I can't remember the exact name off the top of my head in the moment, but I'll put it up in the edit as to whose idea this was. It was very nice, and it works, so thank you for the idea. Either way, besides that, I think we're ready for a detailing time-lapse. There's a lot of work to do around here, notably in all these spaces that are developed. This is all very janky vanilla, don't like this, so we'll sort it out, make all this back of the casino walkable, blend it in, lots more zoning, paths and keys, detail up plazas where we have them, and then bring a nice kind of natural end to the district here today, to Schafelantic City, and then we'll probably demarcate some initial road structure for residential frames as they do need to grow in at some point. Otherwise, pretty difficult build to tie together with this one. We've got some very awkward assets that need a lot of work, but let's detail it up and see how we feel after the detailing time lapse. Alright guys, let's have a little detailing review, shall we, of our new gambling area. This slip lane is proving an absolute dream, taking off lots of industrial traffic back onto the highway. Further down the couplet, it has become a little band of greenbelt parks and commercial, and I really like how it flows through this area. Tram separates away from it slightly as it comes through with parks in here, pathways, other general park assets, and a general nice green time. And I love this little mini skyline, especially from kind of this perspective here. I've really created a little spot of density along the shoreline here, which I'm a big fan of. Coming in over here, we have some industrial zoning nearby to our service points, which box in quite nicely as a bit of a transition from the airport into the nightlife district. A high-speed train line cutting through, and then this whole border up against the train line here, or the airport barrier, if you like, is really nice. I'm a real big fan of how it's turned out, actually, especially this view here from the industry into kind of the grottier nightlife over here is one of my favourite viewpoints in the city, I think. Either way, as we explore down the main road, this little roundabout end actually turned out really nicely. Got some props in here with a airport apron, which is a very cute aesthetic in vanilla, isn't it? I really like how that looks. I'll have to try and remember to use this road in a roundabout formation somewhere else at some point, because I think it really works. Of course, it is two-directional, so it is a bit kind of backward. Heading down here, I brought in the tram, which I totally forgot about. So the tram comes outside of the airport now, and then through here, stopping in the green belt, and then comes all the way down onto the waterfront. So now you can get from the nightlife casino hotel district, or Schafelantic City as it's now known, to the airport via tram, which is very cool. And then this comes down, and look at I love this road. This is one of the best main roads in the city now. Got the Sphinx in here, which sits in surprisingly well, doesn't it? For what it is. I think I'm pretty happy with it. And then this whole commercial plaza here. And I achieved what I wanted to today. I wanted this to be a really kind of vibrant space with clubs, offices, kind of a, you know, a young sort of person's working nightlife life balance, if you like. Sort of finish work, straight to the club sort of vibe. All the young professionals here flying in and out of the airport, sort of working and partying, right? That's the vibe we want. And the pyramid of safety, although despite the fact it isn't a casino in the game, and you have to ignore the emergency shelter notifications on it, it does look a little bit casino-y, doesn't it? Especially with the Sphinx and the casinos and the hotels and the nightlife around it. I think I can certainly get away with it. Some prop detailing at the front of the casino with benches, another photo opportunity for those in love, again with a really nice view to that kind of denser skyline behind. A pathway behind the casino. It opens up into all the back end of the commercial buildings, which makes them a lot more appropriate, I think. Really chiseled out the space with aprons, access onto bars, some overgrown areas around here. There you go, someone is actually using the pathway. I just think it gives purpose to all this stuff at the back. All these little kind of archways make sense now, like you would naturally be able to walk around here in real life. I know it's such a subtle difference, but I think it does help. But that's cool. This then spills back onto the corporate system where we've done more detailing, dropped in another hotel around here. And you'll notice there's now 2 of the hotels as well, which are going for a little bit of a vanilla fusing. I think from the right angle, they almost look like a singular building, don't they? But both of them are fully hooked up and very profitable. And it has actually taken us into the next realm of hotels. We have the conference unlocked now at 15,000 a week. And we'll have to, look at all those city hotels we placed today. They're all by far and away the most profitable. So we'll keep placing them, probably some spam of them. Because I would like the design hotel, this one here, for the skyline, I think. I want this one in the city centre. Just some ideas I have with it. So hotel chains are progressing nicely. Likewise as well with the boat hotel out here. Some detailing, some plazas, ice creams, fountains, and an underground metro line which goes from here into the airport as a new stop. And then this is actually the line that emanates from Dar es Salaam Plaza over here. See how busy that metro station is there now. And of course we set this up in like episode, what was it, 5 or 6, this metro line. So now with 25 tiles opening, it finally has somewhere to go, which is great news. And you can see all the people in it. 657 leaving this metro bus hub now. Of course, which drops them off over the rest of the city, which is really cool. So that now converges with the trams, the elevated metro over here. Stops there again as well. So yeah, I totally forgot to cover the public transport, which is so unlike an episode of Rannoch, because usually every episode is a transport hub disguised as something else. So, yeah, this essentially is as well, isn't it? This is just another transport hub, but 600 out of that underground metro, so connection the Sims are very much enjoying, which is cool. And all this sits outside of our casino district, very nicely indeed. Before we fall away here into some zoning, I didn't really know where to stop the build, so I thought we'd just end it sooner. Fall out of the nightlife specialization here as the normal waterfront resumes. And then we also dropped in the mothership from the mid-century modern content creator pack, which looks great. Kind of a more entertainment-y nightlife building, isn't it? I think right on the edge here. A couple of hotels from that same content creator pack in here too. Before we have some sports fields. The tram turnaround point, of course, is temporary. As we'll likely feed the tram up through here. Back this way, link it up with the stadium in some form or other before it joins the couplet again to complete its loop all the way back to here, isn't it? Yeah. This is... Wait, where does that tram line go? It's here, isn't it? Yeah, it is over here. So you can travel a good old way, tell you what actually, with the extension of that tram line. How long is this one now? 18.7 kilometers. So it's a fair old length, and it's got some busy trams on it as well these days. There's currently 32 vehicles serving it. And it goes a grand old distance right through the city. Of course, it's not as busy as the metro because it's just so much higher speed. And look at the cyclists on the arterial bundle as well now, as this spans over the delta. We've got more people cycling than we do have the cars here, which is very good to see. So love watching this, and it's a great approach into the city centre. But otherwise, that then joins up back with some more nightlife at the edge of those sports fields, as everything comes together and to a close. And this place has some really nice nighttime views, of course, with it being nightlife. All the blues and the pinks are super illuminated. So do hang around to the end of the episode to check out the nighttime cinematics, but otherwise let's thank you all so much for watching. Massive shout out to our patrons with a roll call to our golden eggs, Andrew Perez, Ando Casino. If you'd like to get involved in that instant gaming patron, always link down below, where you can find early access to the next episode of Rannoch should you wish to not wait and get stuck in. You can find it over on Patreon. Otherwise, I'm really happy with this. It is kind of like a mini central business district, some nice high-rise hotels and some zones and service assets in here. Really add a little bit of density. And don't forget to let me know what stadium you reckon we should put over here. I think it's got to be quite a big one given the space we have to work with, so expect an incoming stadium build at some point. And I think we'll probably polish off this little corner of the map, I think, before we head back to the downtown. I want to get some more of those buildings unlocked with the hotels. But otherwise, I think that downtown episode is probably not too far away now. I say, on episode 25, which I think is the longest we've waited for a downtown skyline build. Of course, we've got the downtown road network frame to do before the skyline even goes in as well, of course. There's so much planned. Either way, thank you for still continuing to enjoy Rannoch. Please do enjoy those cinematics, but I'll shut up and leave it there. I just thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.